Hello there, my name is Lamin Jai. Thank you for joining us on the show today. COVID-19 vaccine arrives in the Gambia thanks to the United States. We have a report for you on that development there. It's been 27 years today since former President Yahya Jammeh toppled former President Jawara and became Gambia's second president. Jammeh himself has since left office since his electoral loss in 2016. I have been looking back at his rule there. Drija will be my guest today. Today there will be no newspapers, of course, but then we will now go into the show proper by bringing you some of the reports we have. We'll start with that development there, the major development. The United States has donated over 304,000 doses of the COVID-19 Johnson & Johnson vaccine. This vaccine, the first tranche, arrived at the airport on Tuesday. That is on Eid Day. That was when this vaccine arrived in the country. Massive development. Let's bring you this report now on the development. 151,200 doses of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 single-shot vaccine donated by the United States government arrived in the Gambia on Tuesday, the first tranche in an initial donation of over 304,000 doses. It forms part of a pledge by U.S. President Joe Biden to donate hundreds of millions of COVID vaccine doses to countries across the world. And at the airport in Yundum on Tuesday, when the first tranche arrived, U.S. Ambassador Richard Carl Pascal said the U.S. will continue to donate vaccine supply.
President Joe Biden promised that the United States would become an arsenal of vaccines for the world. We've been delivering on that promise over the past several weeks, and tonight we deliver on that promise here to the Gambia. This is just the first part of the initial American contribution to vaccines to the Gambia. This first contribution will total 304,200 doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. I'm grateful to our colleagues who went through the epidemiology, the science, the health science behind the effectiveness of this vaccine and the statistics of just how effective it can be for those who get vaccinated. The United States is proud to do this in partnership with others. This is a story about those partnerships. I'm very pleased to be able to thank the UN Resident Coordinator, Serafine Wakana, the entire UNICEF team, the WHO team, but most of all, I have to say thank you to the Ministry of Health. This has been a very challenging 16, 17 months that we've all been fighting against COVID-19. But when you start to see vaccines being delivered in this number with so many commitments, as I said, we will have 750,000 vaccines in the coming months. This vaccine supply is not the problem. The vaccine supply is being addressed more slowly than we would have liked, but it's being addressed. Now we need to urge and encourage our friends and family and even those strangers to get the vaccine.
Health Minister Dr. Ahmadou Lamin Samate insisted the donation could not have come at a better time as the country was witnessing the third wave of COVID.
The Gambia is currently witnessing its third wave of the pandemic. This is similar with countries within the sub-region. From all indications, the Delta variant, which is the most commonly isolated now, seems more transmissible and deadlier. Our data suggests current surge in cases surpasses the previous 2020 surge. The vaccine donation could not have come at a better time.
Gordon Jonathan Lewis, UNICEF representative, and Dr. Desta Tirune, WHO representative, also were at the airport.
The Johnson or the Johnson & Johnson, people like to call it J&J vaccine. It was the first vaccine that was listed by WHO as a single dose regimen in March 2021 for emergency use in all countries and also for the COVAX rollout. The fact that it is a single dose vaccine, we can all acknowledge that it will be faster to administer to our population. And currently, as when we are witnessing increased cases in the Gambia, this is going to be a very good vaccine to start.
The J&J Johnson COVID-19 vaccine has been approved by the World Health Organization under the emergency use listing, as well as by the Gambia Medicines Control Agency. This donation, officials say, will significantly close the gap towards achieving the national target of vaccinating 60% of the population by June 2022.
Tough Africa Global presents the new Tulip Gardens. Tough Tulip Gardens is set to comprise service plots in sizes ranging from 220 to 570 meters square. Deposit as low as $83,600 is only an 18-month interest-free payment plan with only 20% deposit on the service plots. Please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333.
And now, it's been 27 years today since former President Jammeh toppled former President Jawara and became Gambia's third president. Well, second president rather. Jammeh has himself left office after his electoral loss in 2016. I have been looking back at his rule. On this day 27 years ago, former President Jammeh and Edward Singate marched from Yundum Barracks to Banjul and seized State House. As they were marching with their loyal soldiers, former President Jawara managed to get on an American military ship in the sea behind State House. Jawara's time as president after 30 years was definitely up. Jammeh, 29 years at the time, then ascended as Gambia's new leader.
The diplomatic mission, ladies and gentlemen, as the situation in the country is already known to everyone out there, given the current security state of our country, it is indeed very important at this moment to inform every individual within this country about what is happening and why. A peaceful takeover from the PPP regime took place yesterday, the 22nd of July, 1994.
Jammeh oversaw a 2-year transition as a military head of state, and in 1996, elections were held, where he ran as a civilian after retiring from the army. He won that election and then went on to win 3 other elections in 2001, 2006, and 2011. While Jammeh had done well in terms of infrastructural development and other developments such as the University of the Gambia and GRTS TV, the man had also committed some terrible things. He doesn't have the best human rights record, and the TRRC has confirmed there are over 200 murders which occurred during his 22 years rule. Soldiers from his so-called death squad have explained to the TRRC how they took orders from him and executed both citizens and non-citizens.
He went up in the bush, up to a certain stage he stopped. And he come down, Sanamanjam came down, bring out a rope, give it to Rosby and Jeng, that we should tie it at the neck of Aruna and fall him down. And we tied the rope at the neck, but at that time, I was not informed that this was the mission, that Aruna, we are getting Aruna killed. He didn't tell us. So we take the rope, we round it Aruna's neck. Jeng.
You thought that was for sport?
No, I didn't thought. I thought that was, maybe they were threatening him. So I took the one side of the rope. Jeng took one side of the rope.
And how was the knot tied? Was it tied to strangle?
The knots.
The rope?
No, it was not. It was just a long rope like this. And we rounded the neck, the other one cut the other half, the other one cut the other half. There was not anything like knot.
And what happened next?
And Sanamanjan told us to fall him down. We fall him down. He asked us to pull the rope. We pulled. Then he was just sitting on top of the car. He jumped from that place and stamped at the neck of Aruna. And he died.
In 2016, Jammeh decided to seek re-election. It was going to be the 5th time. And while casting his vote, Jammeh looked confident, smiling all the time.
Left or right?
Left.
Why are you putting him before I vote? If you deny me voting after the ink is there, how can I say you refuse me before you vote? Yes.
Give him the token.
Thank you.
But Jammeh dramatically lost the election to Adama Barrow, his main challenger, and silence fell on State House as the Electoral Commission Chairman Aliu Momar Njai said this.
Having received 263,515 votes of the total votes cast in the election, I hereby declare Adama Barrow duly elected to serve as President of the Republic of the Gambia.
Jammeh initially called President-elect Barrow and congratulated him. A week later, he went on state TV GRTS and said he was annulling the election because he was cheated.
I hereby announce to you Gambians my total rejection of the electoral results and thereby annulling the elections in its entirety, and until we go back.
A bitter political impasse erupted, but it ended in January 2017 with Jammeh leaving the country as ECOWAS troops entered the country seeking to remove him from power. Jammeh's rule will be remembered for him wanting to rule for 1 billion years, only for that to end prematurely in 2016. Jammeh would have been in power today if fate had treated him kindly. He is now living in exile in Equatorial Guinea.
Welcome to the TOK service.
What is TOK?
This is an amazing service from AfriCell that enable you to choose one AfriCell number to talk to for a period of 1 month. 30 days for $150 only. To subscribe to the service, send SUB to 135 and follow the instruction.
The TOK service from AfriCell is accessible, reliable, and affordable, giving you 1,000 minutes to say all you can for 1 month.
For more info, call 111.
Where AfriCell goes, nobody dares to follow.
Welcome back. So I am now joined by Dudu Jah, the deputy spokesman of the APRC. Today is the marking 27 years of the, former President Jammeh's takeover in July 22nd, 1994 there. So today is 27 years of that event there. It's been a very busy day for Mr. Jah. He was supposed to be with me here in the studio, but I could not get him here. Mr. Jah, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Lamin. Thank you, Fatu Network. Thanks for having me on the news review.
Great. So I understand you had this Quran recitation to mark the event. Is this correct?
Yes, that is very true. Like we've been doing for the past years, every year. We recite the Quran and make prayers, supplicate for this country and for ourselves as well.
But why do you do this though? Why this way, the way of reciting Quran?
Yes, since the coming into being of this coalition government, they've never allowed us any permit to commemorate or celebrate 22nd July. So we resort to doing it peacefully, reciting the Quran and making prayers for ourselves and the nation. As a party, as an opposition, we believe we uphold and keep the peace that is in this country and will abide by laws of this land. If the leadership doesn't want us to do it, we'll definitely keep the calm and the peace.
So, but why do you see, let me understand this then, why do you see the need for you to go out and celebrate whenever that is July 22nd? Because, I mean, your rule, the APRC government, this is a government that is not appreciated in a lot of quarters in this country due to various reasons. One reason has to do with the record in terms of the human rights, for example, the issue of corruption. There was this Janet Commission. So you don't have, the appreciation in a lot of quarters. And yet you celebrate this. Among those who, consider themselves victims of your government, they find this offensive. They see it as an insult, really, for you to say you are celebrating a day like July 22nd.
Thank you very much. People are entitled to what they feel and what they believe. For us, July 22nd is significant in two ways. It marks the birth of a revolution, that is July 22nd, 1994. Again, it marks the birth of a political party, that is APRC, which also falls on July 22nd, 1996. So the two intertwined, we would say, both fall on the same month and date, that is July 22nd, with different years, 1994 and 1996. We believe, people could look at the dark side or what they feel were dark days during the junta and the APRC as a political party when we're in government. We believe we're looking at the bright side, whereby what happened in this country, how Gambia was transformed from 96 to 2016, the achievements we have, this is what we feel we have to commemorate every year.
But you call this a revolution. How does this become a revolution? I mean, this is a coup. You have a group of soldiers who sat one day to overthrow a democratically elected government and suspend a country's constitution. That is treason. How do you call that a revolution?
A revolution is about ideas. It's not the actual coup that happened. The coup was one step of taking over the country. But it was a military junta, young men who came together and feel they must take charge of this country. And within 2 years, a lot of transformation was done. Unprecedented developments that never happened in the First Republic, which they ushered in, they developed. It was a revolution based on the ideas they have, what they wanted to execute. They believe they put in the people who were part of the movement that they peddled. That is the type of revolution we're talking about, not the act as a coup d'etat. And again, Gambia was not the first or the last country where coup d'etats happened. Take the case of Egypt, for example. There was a coup d'etat which was endorsed by the West themselves. They embraced that coup d'etat. For us,
but that doesn't make it legal, does it?
It doesn't make it legal. This is what I'm saying. If you condemn one, why not condemn the other?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now, I mean, today you are celebrating, this is the 4th year, I guess, since former president left power. How have you been holding up? Because APRC, I mean, is used to seeing or having their leader among them. This is the 4th year in a row you've been marking July 22nd without former President Jammeh. How does that feel?
To many, it's like this is why we're keeping it a low profile. But to many, what they feel is like something is missing. Like the Supreme Party leader is not in our midst. Like the way we used to celebrate it, we can't do the same anymore because we are not in government. Now, keeping it a low profile is not the wishes of many, but that is the option that is available. And like I said earlier, in order to maintain peace and make sure we're law-abiding, it's an option choice. That's what we have to take. But to many, they wish he is in our midst and we will do it with him.
Has he sent any word, any message?
At some point in time, I stepped out of the bureau. I went to take care of some other issues, and by the time I came back, the Quranic recitation and whatever happened at his bureau was definitely over. So unless I inquire from other people whether he called and sent any message, but he normally does.
So let me also understand one thing. Is all well at all in APRC? Because in the last few days and weeks, we've seen all the things that are going on. There is much talk around the future of your party. APRC going into a coalition or alliance, if you like, with NPP. You have a deputy spokesman of a party coming out to say, I am APRC 1000%, but I am supporting President Barrow and I'll make sure that he wins the December election. And you have people in APRC who did not like that. The likes of Lamin Tamba coming out to criticize you, and all of you are members of APRC. What is going on in your party?
Actually, as far as the leadership is going, or the leadership is concerned, there is no problem within the party. Lamin Tamba is an individual. He boasts and brags like being the PRO of the UK branch, that is on the diaspora. We have the USA branch. Are we hearing their spokesperson talking? No. We have the EU branch. Are we hearing their spokesperson talking? No. We have our other places in Dakar, in Mauritania, you know, in Spain. They have the EU spokesperson who is based in Spain. None of them is talking. You're not hearing any audio. So for Lamin Tamba to talk, I feel it is his right. He's entitled to his opinion or whatever he wants to say. But that doesn't change anything within the ranks of the party or within or the way the party is operating. He can say all that he wants to say, but he doesn't have that influence to change anything.
But is APRC working on ways and means of merging with NPP? Because clearly that is also out there. That claim of you trying to partner with NPP. Is this what is happening?
Yes, talks are ongoing. Nothing agreed yet. Nothing concrete, and we've not hide it. We have made it news to the public that we're engaging, we're talking, and it's not only NPP. There are other parties. But likelihood is everybody is foreseeing that APRC and NPP. And I am not saying that NPP is the only party here that is engaging the APRC for a possible coalition.
Now, about your strange position, you are saying you are APRC 1000%, but yes, you are going to support President Adama Barrow. Why this position? And can you explain what does that even mean? How can you be a member of a party and then support another party's candidate? That doesn't make sense to a lot of people.
Maybe it will feel strange to some people, but it already exists in this country. I'm not the first doing so. The coalition government, you have political parties that are there who are endorsing the president 100%, and some of them are their individual capacities. It is as if Dudija is the first person to say that. No, it is actually not the fact. So,
can you hear me?
To this country,
yes.
I belong to this country, and I feel I have choices to make, and I feel what I am making, why I am saying I'm still APRC, the interest of the party and the leadership, especially our Supreme Party leader. So based on that, it's nothing individual, it's nothing personal, but me as an individual, I am making that declaration, and I see nothing wrong about it.
But is your party happy with this?
Oh, of course. The leadership, not even a single individual within the leadership are telling me what you said was wrong or you should not have said that. There are some other party members, the fear they have is I am going to leave APRC, and they don't want that to happen. Others understood my message very well. They're telling me I am behind you 100%. Whatever you're doing, we're going to support it because they know who I am and what I can do and what I stand for.
Now, let's also discuss something. The reason why I say, all doesn't really seem to be well in your party is because, there are also, we've seen what one member of the party, Pamodu Mbow, for example, in an interview, he purportedly said he spoke with the former president, and the former president said, APRC will not go into a coalition with any political party. And really, your party has been quiet about this. Is this true? Did he speak to the former president?
Well, as I am speaking to you, it's a press release. I have just concluded, and I am going to share. You know, it's one of the reasons that also delayed me, besides the interview that I have to join you on the show. I am already done with the press release, and very soon I'm going to share it.
Maybe I'll have to capitalize then and then quickly try to get some information on in that press release. What did you put there? Is this true at all?
No, actually it is not true, and the press release is going to clarify that. Pamodu's claims are baseless, and this is why we're going to send this press release to Gambians and non-Gambians, whether they are in this country or outside the country.
And also, you made one claim, the issue of the 7 vehicles, that the president returned your vehicles. And you have another APRC official who is dismissing that, saying, no, I have not seen any vehicles.
Well, for me, information given, I made it very clear. I did not see the vehicles myself, but it was information given to me by executive members. And I believe the information they gave me is very accurate, and time will prove me right.
Mr. Ja, Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for speaking to me. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. That is Dudu Ja. They are the deputy spokesman of the APRC speaking to me there. Today marks 27 years of the former President Yahya Jammeh's coup d'etat there in July 22nd, 1994. That will be all for the show today. Thank you for being there. We will see you next week. Until then, I am Levin Jai. Thank you.